Nick, the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys come up with that, or do you know what the origin was, and who deserves credit for, I guess, finding it if it wasn't you guys that created it?
That's a good question. It works, and we just keep doing it. I don't remember if we said we saw this. I know Reggie Bush did it to Matt Leinart a long time ago, right? In Notre Dame versus USC, but yeah, there's not a rule against it, so that's what we do. I don't know what the origin exactly is, except for when it works, we just keep rolling with it.
I think the push part of it is a little bit overstated. Like there are times when it's just a regular quarterback sneak.
Sometimes, yeah, it's not always a push like that. So yeah.
Did you happen to notice that other teams around the league tried it the last couple of weeks and some unsuccessfully?
Yeah, not everybody has Jason Kelce, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens. Not everybody has Jordan Mailata. Not everybody has Lane Johnson on the other side. Not everybody has that type of quarterback. We noticed that last year when people were making maybe some big deals about it. Like, there's a lot that are unsuccessful, and I won't. You guys know who the teams were, and and I don't know exactly the teams that were successful and the teams that weren't successful, but there's clearly a talent to it that our guys have, and because it's not as maybe it's automatic right now for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's not automatic around the NFL. So which is where you get. When you hear about it, obviously I got to get prepped for these things like this, and I hear about, Bob will prep me for questions like this. You hear about it, and you're like, well, I get that some people are complaining about it, but stop it, stop the play, and it's not as automatic as people think, as we're seeing across the NFL, and so our players make it work, right? Frankly, us as coaches aren't doing anything. We're calling the play, and our players are going out there and making it work. Now, we did a lot of studies on everything in the off season to help ourselves be even better at it. But it's about those guys up front. It's about Jalen. I think we'd be pretty successful even without the push, but we're just pushing them sometimes just to give that extra thump.
Has Reddick been affected by the having to wear the cast?
I don't think so. You'll have to ask. I think that's something you'll have to ask him. But he still changes the game, right? Because of who he is. That's the beauty of pass rushers. You as an offensive coach, you have to be alert of where the pass rushers are, and we have multiple ones, and so. Whether Hassan is, and I've learned this a long time ago, that these things come in waves. These sacks come in waves. There's a lot of attention given to guys, and when you have other guys that like Josh Sweat on the other side that are making a lot of plays, that attention will shift back and forth, and it just comes and goes in waves. And so, whether he's been getting pressures, I know that. Hassan has been getting pressures and has been affecting the game just being out there. So you'll have to ask him as far as, I kind of said, I don't think so, but what, that's a good question for him. And I know he's affecting the game and we're playing, and he's contributed to, these wins that we've had.
You mentioned the offensive. Some key contributors back at practice this week, specifically, I guess, with James and Henry.
I say that one more time, Josh.
I mean, to get some contributors back at practice.
Yeah.
James and Henry.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, players like that, you want on the field, and it was great to get them back at practice this week, and you feel their presence out there, and so just excited that they're ready to roll again, and look forward to them to being out there.
You mentioned the offensive line, Nick. Obviously, you've developed some guys along the way. Cam this year, Landon. You ever think back when you're a rookie coach? Most rookie coaches don't get that core on the offensive line. You ever say, damn, I got a little bit lucky with that?
I would say so. I think I've said this a bunch. Like, I wasn't like a lot of first-year head coaches in the sense of, I had veteran guys and leaders on the offense and defensive line, 4 guys, in fact, that have played 10-plus years. Like, who has that? who that have won a Super Bowl like that. Heck yeah, I think about that a lot. Like, usually when you're going into a place, that why do teams win and lose football games? In my opinion, it starts up front on the O line and D line. And so when you go into a place and you're not rebuilding anything there because of all the, when you come in fresh and you got those guys like that, I made my transition a heck of a lot easier.
Did you watch the Kelce documentary?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was awesome. It was awesome. I actually I took my my wife and my son to the premiere. It was shoot. When I was crying in the first 5 minutes of it, I knew, I'm like, oh goodness. I looked at my wife, and I had tears in my eyes, and I go, it's only been 5 minutes. I thought I told Jason this, and one thing I thought was so cool that, there was a part that was happening, and I was sitting here, my wife was sitting here, and my son Jacob was sitting here, and Jacob leaned over my wife to look at me and goes, Daddy. And I go, yeah, buddy. He goes, this is probably the best movie I've ever seen. And I love that he, I watched The Last Dance with him. I watched the quarterback series with him because he's just in this age of because I want him to, the same types of things I show our players, I want him to see. Like, there's how many good lessons are in that. And so I love the fact that he loved it. It was a special documentary. I remember calling Kevin Patullo, or he was, on my way home, like, that was unbelievable. And it was awesome. I can't say enough. And then another thing, I'm looking at, there was a teacher-parent thing, and my wife had to guess things that my son wrote down, like favorite color, favorite animal, all these different things. And one of them was like favorite TV show, and how did they match up? They were good. They know they got the same color. My wife said Jacob's color is blue. Brett she guessed blue. We missed on the animal, but on a TV show she hit it right on. It was Kelce, right? And so I know it's not a TV show, but and they were both on it right there. So I guess he wasn't. He was telling the truth when he looked at me and said, "Daddy, this is my favorite. It's probably my favorite movie I've ever seen."
Maybe it's all the F-bombs he liked.
He's growing up in Philadelphia.
We'll do one more and then flip it.
Hey, Nick, if Quez can't go in this game, does Olamide bring a different element to the offense?
I like obviously Quez brings a type of speed that's, not a lot of people have. And I like what, OZ brings to our offense. He brings a toughness, we trust him. He's savvy route runner. He's got great football instincts. And so, if it's his turn to play this week, I've got a lot of faith in him that he'll do a really good job.